Yo, 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 yo. A little bit late tonight. Sorry, Charlie. I'm just going to jump on here and see how low we can go. How low can we go, my friends? Oops, hold on a second. No Rumble tonight if my man Jeremy is on here, just because I was just out picking blackberries, moving around some yard work in the garden. Got scratches all over the place. Look at all the blackberries are getting me. So I don't really have any time to set up. So happy Father's Day to one and all. And we'll just, no one's on live here. What's up, everybody? No one wants to see old Josh anymore. No one wants to hang out with old Josh. It's funny how many people I annoy. Actually, it does crack me up. It's like, I don't get it. Like, people like, why don't you stick to the financial planning, or I don't like you. I say, why are you here? Why waste your time on people who annoy you, man? That doesn't make sense. Hey, we got that Arco Viner. All right, not familiar with Arco here. He comes via Facebook. Cool. Tom K Paso, Chicken Charlie. Right on. Happy Father Day to y'all too. My man Arco Viner M here. All right, whatever. Not sure who Arco is, but welcome aboard, amigo. All right, hold on just a second. I gotta make sure I put the live stream up here to make sure I get paid. You don't get paid much on live streams from YouTube, just FYI. I've noticed that. It's interesting. So, like, people do live streams every day. I'm not sure exactly where their money's coming from. The best way to get paid on YouTube is to do about videos about 6 to 8 minutes. I've found 6 to 8 minutes will get enough ad revenue and views. I think a lot of people do live streams like 1 to 2 hours. I can't watch that much. 20 minutes is the most I can consume. There are some people I watch but I don't. I mean, because those live streams are so long, you're like committed to those people. Like, I mean, like, I'll watch Owen Benjamin. I'll watch other people's live streams. My man Ken Wheeler, he doesn't do live streams, but he does 10 to 15-minute videos, which I enjoy immensely. I'll watch. There are lots of different guys that do 10 to 15. But very few do I watch live streams, like 1 or 2 hours. It's just too much. And so if you're doing videos, try to keep them, usually 6 to 8 minutes, maybe 8 to 12, but generally 6 to 8 is the best way to do it. But some of these guys that do these live streams every day, for like an hour and a half to 2. I mean, I could do that. I'd frankly get bored, but I don't know how they monetize that, because again, you just don't get paid that much on live streams. But it does create a good audience. You get to generate interaction with your audience, which I enjoy immensely. I actually do respond to a lot of the comments. Not, obviously I get more comments I could possibly respond to, but I do enjoy that, responding to comments. That's kind of my interaction. All right, good. We got another guy there, Judy B. Judy B. What's up, Judy B? All right, so let's see what we got. Pablo. My dog barks when he hears Pablo. Right on, man. Right on. Happy Father's Day to one and all. I had a guy, and I just deleted the post because it tipped me off. It says, you look like you're stressed. And I was like, dude, I'm having the freaking day of my life, man. It's Father's Day. We got some freaking smoked jack barbecue. One of my daughters made a coconut cake. I've been out in the garden. My boys are helping me out. We took a walk with Pablo on a blueberry hunt. Kevin and Chloe and me went on a blueberry hunt with Pablo. Got scratched up to no end. You know what I'm saying? Eating all kinds of blackberries. Freaking, my wife she put together this smoker that had been sitting around for a while. And dude, I was like, if this is stress, then I'm freaking guilty as charged, because this is freaking heavenly today, man. Here in Georgia, it's freaking 82, a little bit on the hot end of the sun, but sitting out back, just, oh man, picking up all kinds of blackberries on my own backyard too. We got a little bit of a wild patch behind us. We're getting blackberries there, more scratches. Look at that. We're gonna watch a movie tonight. So, dude, if this is stress, I don't know what then, like I said, guilty as charged. All right, so let's. All right, I saw. Yeah, here we go. Again, so remember, if you guys want to get just as an FYI, we're slow. I talk. I'm verbose. I don't deny that. I mean, if you're new here, that might be shocking to you, and you'll type the same question 5 times. I'll get to it when I get to it. Frankly, I don't have any method of my madness here, but But if you have a question you want to ask, fire away. Make it in caps. Actually, as my man Jack Spurko of the Survival Podcast, he started doing that. And that made sense. So if there's a question specifically to me, I put it all in caps for the most part, so I can see that specifically to me. Because I can't tell half time. Some of you guys are chatting amongst each other, which I think is awesome. There'll be a short stream tonight because we're going to watch this flick tonight with my kids. And it seems like I got something else to say. And of course, if you super chat me, you send me that sweet, sweet YouTube money, you'll get to the front of the line. Just keep that out. All right. So my man, or Alex 500, what's your call on the next CPI print? Up or down? Oh, it's going to go down. Price of gas is going down. But I actually see, this is where I kind of go off on a tangent. There's a lot of talk now that there's going to be some huge deflationary aspects of the economy coming down the pike in terms of products like Target, Walmart. Their inventories are too big. They got too much stuff and they can't get rid of it because whenever people get nervous about the economy, they cut back on spending. And so you're going to have this huge dichotomy, actually. Oh, yeah, okay. So you're going to have a huge dichotomy of consumer prices going down and every other kind of price for energy and food going up. So here's consumer prices, clothes, I don't know, what else were they? Just other things, stuff that you don't need, but, it's not a bad thing to have. So you'll be able to get steep discounts on clothes, on other kind of things. But then the things that you need to live, food and energy, will be going up. And I find that interesting. The irony of all ironies is idiots. Yes, I did say idiots because this is idiotic. Will say, but food and energy aren't in CPI. And that's true. Food and energy are not in CPI, which is why the CPI will go down. But if you think food and energy prices aren't being felt by you, you're a fool. I mean, my goodness, just because the actual energy isn't going into CPI, it's certainly being felt in products, if that makes sense. So you'll see a drop in CPI, and you're like, oh, freaking party time is here. No, it won't be because the food and energy is still going up. I was just reading about Germany today. This is freaking insane. I got to go get my tea here in just a second. Germany is burning. First of all, they're bringing back coal-fired plants. All right, because this is exactly what happened in the 1970s in the U.S. We literally thought we were running out of gas. We thought gas was gone. Thus, we had to go back to more coal-firing plants to generate electricity, to heat our homes and all this stuff. All right, that's literally what happened in the 70s. So under Carter. A lot of people don't know this. They think, oh, why are we so reliant on oil and coal? Because we thought we're out of natural gas. That is why it costs so much for natural gas. It was literally going away is what we thought. Peak gas. Well, then George Mitchell, not the idiot from Maine, George Mitchell came along and he figured out fracking. I haven't dived deep into how fracking, I don't know if George Mitchell's literally the guy or not from Texas A&M, I don't know. But, for me, his name is associated with the developing of fracking. Now, he might have stolen the technology from someone else. I have no clue. I don't think he did, but I haven't done any research really on that. But as we say here today, my understanding is George Mitchell is the fracking guy. Anyway, so long story short, he develops fracking, hydraulic fracturing, where you can get the gas from the side, and that changed the world. And now Germany, sucks to be them, saying we don't have any natural gas because they're turning it off from Russia. Well, guess what? Your solar panels and your wind ain't going to get the job done, is it, Germany? No, it's not. So heaven forbid they got to go back to coal. And yes, they got to go back to coal because coal is reliable and is right there. You can actually touch coal. And you can say, when I need heat and electricity, I can use coal to generate heat and electricity. I don't need to wait for the sun. I don't need to wait for the wind. I can just do it right now. But it burns CO2. Better to freaking die from CO2. The nutrient for green for plants. Come on, Fitty. Better die from that than by freezing death, you freaking idiots out there in Germany. I tell you, man. People fall for this stuff. They fall for it. This is a thing. I don't blame the politicians. Politicians just doing what the voters say. The voters say we want to live high on the might, high on the hog, and yet we don't want CO2. You can't have it both ways, man. It's stupid. We want to eat meat, but we don't want cow farts, methane. We want to fly in a freaking airplane, over to Australia, but we don't want CO2. I mean, these things are just, you can't have it both ways. And politicians, they're saying, all right, well, if that's what it takes to win, I'm going to do whatever these people want. They're idiots, but I'll do it. You got to blame the voters. At the end of the day, the voters get what the voters want. The voters want idiot running the show. They're getting idiots running the show. They're getting bike riders, Sniffy Joe. So I would think CPI would go down, but I don't think it's going to go down that much. I think the damage is freaking. The thing about this is what happens to the stock market. Why the stock market actually hurts relative to home prices. You see the running tally. You see it every day. Literally every minute of every day. Every time you drive by a gas station, you see what the price of gas is. It's a running tally of inflation. Oh, hold on a second. Gotta text my daughter. Oh, Finn. All right, hold on a sec. So, can you carry him? Or you try? Maybe put his leash on. Oh, Finn, he hurt his back leg running. He keeps running around in our backyard, chasing dragons, and he keeps hurting his back leg, and he won't stop running. I'm like, Fanny. So now he's upstairs. He's like, I can't come downstairs. Oh, poor baby. Thanks, girl. All right, so I think we're gonna CPI will go down, but again, the running tally will be in the price of gas that you see, and that's not going down anytime soon. It's just not, man. And look, we know what's happening, and Russia's dominating this. They're winning not just against Ukraine, they're winning against the Western world. This is not debatable anymore. And we're all we are all paying the price while China and India get cheap gas and cheap fossil fuels from Russia. We are paying for our demise because for some reason we want to support Zelensky the clown. I don't understand. Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is, baby. Oh, poor baby. I'm sorry you hurt your leg. So, and the reason we're paying for Zelensky is because we know there's a lot of bad stuff that could come out once if Putin were to take Kiev, and he'd never say he was gonna, but if he were, who knows what kind of stuff would come out against Sniffy Joe and against all the other, Paul Manafort from Trump's side, against Zelensky, and who knows who other kind of people would be indicted. Not that indicted in terms of they're never going to face prosecution or anything, but they'd be indicted in terms of guilty of sin. At least Sniffy Joe isn't showering with his daughter, which is kind of creepy. But anyway, all right. Loudoun County, Virginia in the house. All right, what do I think about talking heads on CBC trying to sell their new secret sauce investing technique? There's my man with the Ukraine flag right there. Man, you gotta get rid of that Ukraine flag, buddy. I'm over it. That's last month's stuff. There's the new thing. What's the new thing now? The school shooting is a new thing now. You gotta get a flag for a school shootings. We're gonna defend school shootings. I saw a documentary where people in West Virginia pull off the highway and chip off some coal from the mountain to heat their stove. Following barbell approach, have 3+ years in cash and tempted to put some in the market because of the drop. Thoughts on putting 6 months in cash or keep the plan? Yeah, I don't know your situation, Bill C. So I got nothing on that. I can't comment on that specifically for sure. Yeah, I don't know why people would argue against a barbell. You have a barbell approach for a reason. So this is the problem I have with investments, man. It's like, yeah, the barbell approach worked, and now the markets are down, but now I want to violate the barbell approach by taking advantage of the high markets. That seems to I don't get that thinking. I really don't. The whole point about the barbell is to have the cash on the side. Just because we're down 25% doesn't mean we can't go down another 25%. Father's Day is not racist? Jeez. Oh man, today was fantastic, Tina. Today was a good day. Good day. All right, so yeah, I don't want to see Ukraine flags on here. It doesn't mean I'm pro Russia, but I cannot stand the thing of the day. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Ukraine. What was the other thing? BLM. Me Too. That thing. I'm talking about this thing. The freaking diaper. I hate it, man. The trends, I'm anti-trend. There's no other way around that. And it's all fake. It's all fake. No one gave two craps about Ukraine. In fact, it's funny because the biggest fan of Ukraine would be this guy right here, knowing what Stalin and the Russians did to those poor people in Ukraine in the 1930s. No one cared until it became the cool kid thing to care about. No one cared about Holodomor. No one cared. No one cared about the commies. And hell, a lot of these people are pro-Ukraine wearing Che Guevara shirts, freaking scumbags. No one cared about the commies. Now, for some reason, they just care about Putin because they think Putin and Russia, Putin and the Trumpster were aligned at the hip. It's freaking crazy. Anyway, so get rid of your Ukraine flags on here because I don't want to see it. And if that makes me a Putin stooge, so be it. Oh, yeah. Australia's talking about, yeah, everyone. I mean, look, these people Australia's freaking idiotic. If you're not following what's up with that, you don't even know half of what's going on in Australia and India and China and Western Europe. Because India and China are rolling in it, man. They're rolling in it. But Australia, New Zealand, I mean, these guys are just, it's a clown show. Clown show. The Freeport gas line mysteriously blew up. Did you not see my video on that, Marie? I hope you saw my video on that. I just did a video on this 2 days ago. Exactly right. Price of natural gas has dropped in the U.S. by $2. So we got to get rid of the free trade at all costs thing. I am definitely not a free trade market guy anymore. I'll tell you that right now. We can easily see that going with Marie's saying, the Freeport gas line had a fire, an explosion there, which means they can't export natural gas to Europe. And so the price of the natural gas was going through the roof in Europe, and then it dropped 25% in a day here in the U.S. And I'm like, wait. So we're using our natural gas to export to Europe to keep their prices moderate because they fought this stupid war against Putin, and yet we are paying for that. So not only are we subsidizing China and India with very cheap gas from Russia, but we're also subsidizing Europe. On top of the fact we subsidize them because we gave $40 billion of the corrupt Ukrainian government, and who knows where the hell that money went. It's insane. I'm like, why are we even doing this? Let's just stop all that crap. Let's say, no, let's go freaking Lindbergh. You know what I'm saying? Charlie, oh my goodness, he's American firster. Yeah, well, so am I. Let's take care of America first. We got people here who can't afford their freaking bills, man. And yet we're going to subsidize Germany. Screw them, man. They dug their hole. Let them freaking lay in it. Screw them. I don't care. I mean, look, I don't want to get hurt, but that's their problem. That's their problem that they fell for the fantasy of green and renewable energy. Just real quick. All right, so let me ask you guys a question. Shh, don't tell anybody this. We're just going to talk about it between us crazy kids. Let's say we have 10 solar panels up on our roof. All right. Let's just say we have 10. All right, not much. 10, let's say 300 capacity for each. All right, so we don't have that many. Let's say half went bad for whatever reason. Birds pooped on them, freaking, you name it. Some kid threw a rock, busted the glass. They're made in some crappy China slave labor camp, and they don't work anymore. So we got now only 5 solar panels working up there, but we need 10 to power our house the way we like to live. How many solar panels, all right, would it take, not using any fossil fuels at all, just from scratch, we have nothing. Only thing we have is nothing. We have those solar panels up there. How many solar panels would it take to make one more solar panel? All right, so we have nothing. We don't have any trucks. We don't have anything. We have unlimited amount of solar panels. I'll give you an unlimited amount of solar panels. All right. But we don't have an unlimited, so we can't have an unlimited. We have the exact amount of solar panels we need to run our economy right now. We have nothing else. No trucks, no gas, no oil. We just have solar panels. How many solar panels would we need to recreate just one to put up on the roof? Anyone want to guess? All right, so we have nothing now. We have nothing. All we have is solar panels. We just have just enough solar panels to run everything. We don't have any more than that, though. We need one more solar panel. How many does it take to build one solar panel from scratch? Oh yeah, I'm not on WhatsApp. That's not me. No, I don't care if they're manufactured in China. Just how many? That's all I care about. So Vic is saying it's going to take 100, 300-watt solar panels to create one solar panel from scratch. Think of the absurdity of that, Vic. Your solar panels is going to create enough energy to go and mine silicon, to go and get gas, or to go and get aluminum, to go and make glass for the solar panel. Well, all the other things that go in the solar panel, Your solar panel is going to 100 solar panels are going to give you enough energy to do all that stuff. 100. Think about it. We got nothing but solar. We don't have trucks. We don't have rubber. We don't have anything. But we need one more solar panel. Denise says 637,000. 637,000. Where that's a pretty round number, Denise. Is that where do you get 600? So we need 637,000 solar panels. Again, I'm using 300 watts. I don't even care the efficiency. We can even say 30. It's not going to be 30, but let's just say that. 637,000 solar panels, Denise, to manufacture one. That would give us enough energy to go into the ground, to make rubber, to make glass, to get aluminum, to get silicon, to bring it back. The answer is no one knows. We have no idea. And my man says it doesn't matter for how many years of power generation. It doesn't matter. It matters for we need one 300-watt solar panel. And again, I don't care the efficiency. Nobody knows. That's the issue. The issue is solar, as this guy said, but I don't think he knows. I don't think he's saying it the way he should be saying it. It's not a main energy source. It's not even close. It's not even. It does. Solar gives us about 1 to 2% of our total energy generation. That's it. The issue that comes here is where I'm going with this. The idea of renewable is freaking so unicorn. It's mind-bogglingly idiotic that people think we can have a completely renewable society. Tell me the number it takes to manufacture one solar panel when you have no other fossil fuels. You got to get rubber for the trucks, tires for the trucks, rubber. Where does that come from? It comes from oil. Never mind plastics. You just name it. You got to get solar has got to do us. No natural gas, no nuclear, nothing can do it except for solar. There's not going to be enough solar panels in the world to do that because it's impossible. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. And so what I'm saying is these idiots in Germany and California and Australia, it's just mind-boggling. In fact, I just had to laugh for a one here because I think I did a video of this the other day. The atomic scientist. Do I even have that article up here? I think I might not. Energy security and war. Green energies grow only paltry 2% in an entire decade. Global transition to green energy stagnates. Yeah, you think? I guess I don't have that article up here anymore. Shoot. But I was reading this article about the Union of Atomic Scientists or something like that. And they're like, oh, we got to get rid of nuclear because it's scary. We just got to go to all renewables. And I'm like, is solar actually renewable? And their guy, solar is not renewable. It's not, because a solar in of itself, solar panels cannot create their own solar panels. Inherently, it's not renewable. Anyway, all right, so just keep that in mind. Just don't get sucked into this. So two things: if I ever get destroyed off YouTube, you can retire, and you can retire on Social Security, as I had written a book on. If I can find it. Can't find it. Fuel cells right there. Power for Tomorrow. My man D.S. Hallisey talks about the fuel cells and hydrogen and whatnot. I don't buy that at all, actually. I'm not a big fan that that's going to happen, but we'll see. But it's interesting. He did talk about global warming with CO2 in 1966. That was the beginning of the global cooling craze. This is a pretty good book. The Electrical Wizard of Schenectady. Pretty interesting book I'm reading there. Then, of course, my new book's out. Return to Peaks Island right here, everybody. Return to Peaks. So get it. It's 138 pages. One guy, I'm not sure if it's a passive-aggressive comment or not, but he says, yeah, it's a really good read, a good message. Your characters are kind of one-dimensional. That's okay. Okay, I'm not sure what is the character supposed to be four-dimensional. I'm not sure what that even means. But it's like, okay, I don't care. I mean, whatever. But I think he was trying to compliment me in a passive-aggressive way. Yeah, it's a good read, but your characters develop as one-dimensional. Okay, I just said, okay. Where's my book? Oh, right here. Social Security, right there. You can retire on Social Security. So if I can do two things, is for you guys to say I can retire on Social Security. I don't need millions of dollars, and the green energy is evil, pure evil. Ooh, check this out, because I'm a right-wing stooge. The Guns of the Regressive Right and How to Kill a President. The Regressive Right by my man Morris Beale. This one, the left wing, used to be anti-jabbies, you know what I'm saying? More naturalistic, less, empire building and stuff. And it's funny because he would be considered a left winger today. I mean, a right winger today, but back in the day, these guys were not. They used to be very organic, very naturalistic, very challenging of the state-sanctioned schooling systems, whatnot. Grow your own food. Get more self-reliant. Get off the mainstream corporatism and stuff. And then, of course, the anti-jabs, anti-pharmaceuticals, and now it's the exact opposite, which is pretty funny. Anyway, so I got this book because, again, books, man, books are your new gold. And along that line is right here, The Drug Story, same guy. A factological history of Americans' drug cartel as hidden ownership, profits, and impact the health of the American people. Exactly. So I'm very much. I got so many books, dudes. I don't even know where to begin. It's nuts. But I know where to begin. I just gotta take the time to go through them. The problem is my mind has started going off these tangents. Like today, I was like spent all morning and yesterday too looking up the Carrington effect, and it's like now I'm like that's crazy. All right. Tom says Social Security question. Wife is 67. All right. I'm 50. Wife is 62. I'm 67. Should she take hers at 62, then take half of mine at 67? Is that half reduced because she took hers before she's 67? Yes, that's 100%. So if she takes hers at 62, she will get hers reduced because she's before her full retirement age, Tom. And then when you hit 62 and you take yours, she'll get half of your PIA, even though you took yours early. It doesn't impact her. She will get half of your PIA. But because she took hers at 62, it will be reduced by, I think, 32% or something like that. So both will be reduced. And then she won't get your half or her spousal. That's called a spousal benefit, Tom, by the way. A spousal benefit. I'll talk about survivor benefits here in just a second. But the spousal benefit will be reduced if she takes her own benefit early. Just keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. Taking her own benefit early does not impact her survivor benefit, assuming she survives you. That doesn't impact that. Just because she took her own benefit at 62, it does not impact if she gets your benefit at your death. And that would be, again, what's called a survivor benefit. So in this case, 100%, man. If she's 5 years older, and I assume she made less than you, taking at 62 is not a bad idea for you because you open up that window where she might get a little bit of a raise because she'll get half of your PIA minus the reduction because she did take her own benefit early. And to be perfectly honest with you, I guess it depends. She's older. She's still a woman. Let's just say she dies earlier if she's not going to get a survivor benefit anyway. Yeah, I can see you taking at 62, but she's 67, man. You know what I'm saying? By the time you're 62, you probably got 8 good years left in her before she's on the shuffleboard, if that makes sense. I'm just being silly, my friends, but you know what I'm saying. Once you get in your mid 60s, your young, dumb, and sprite time is slowly getting behind you. So anyway, hope that helps, man. Okay, Denise. So you didn't see my video then? Interesting, huh? Interesting. Okay. So Denise didn't watch my video. All right, interesting. Oh, yeah, you'll get a. It's not a deed. It's a deed in trust. What the hell do they call it? You'll get a thing from the bank. It's not a deed. It's a. I'm drawing a blank. What it's called, but it's not the deed. The deed's what you got at the county. The deed in trust. I can't remember. Yeah, they got. Yeah, this the deed will stay at the county. You're going to get the. I forgot what they call it. Anytime you pay off a lien on your home, you get that. I want to say it's a deed. Does anyone know? It's not a deed in trust. What the hell is it called? It's no, it's not the warranty trust. It's the lien release. Yeah, right there. There you go. Lien release. That's it. But it still says deed on it. I think it's a deed in trust. I forgot. But yeah, all right. So let's see what we got here. Election time in Oklahoma. Every outlet mentioned out there are Trump Republicans. Actually, it's funny here, Harry. There's Jake Evans versus Rich McCormick, and apparently they're both woke Republicans because they're campaigning against each other. So Rich McCormick is a woke Republican. That's why Trump didn't support him. And Jake Evans is a woke Republican who likes CRT and all that. It's just, and Trump support Jake Evans. I'm going for Rich McCormick. He ran last 2 years ago. He did lose to some chick, forgot her name, but she lost. And I just like the fact he's a doctor. He's coming out for part 2 of this, which I appreciate. So he didn't just run once and walk away when he lost, but he's coming back at it. Look, Jake Evans seems like he's fine too, but I like this guy, Rich McCormick. I didn't vote for him last time because I can't vote if I don't live in the county. Some people can, I guess if you vote for the right guy, you don't have to live in the county. Hell, the funny thing was here in Georgia, Brad Puffensbarger, who won he won the primary for Secretary of State. I don't understand it, man. And he won going away. His campaign was he showed that only American citizens can vote in Georgia. That was his big argument why you should reelect him. I said, whoa, so American citizens can vote in Georgia? I thought you had to be a Georgia resident to vote in Georgia, but apparently not for Brad Puffensbarger. Don't put your faith in the Republican Party. I'm not going to vote for the right, if they're right. I vote for the R, I should say. But look, man, they who's in Alabama? Mo Brooks is going to lose to some moderate, there. Mike DeWine won again. Now there was a couple wins. Dr. Oz is going to lose to that guy up in Pennsylvania. It looks like because he doesn't inspire Republicans, man. And again, it's. So we're going to lose that Senate seat. We know that. But, Mo Brooks was I don't know what Trump turned on that guy for. It's weird to me. But anyway, be it as it may, the Republican Party isn't the savior. No way, no how. They're better. That's just because the Democrat Party are nuts. The Democrat Party is bordering on evil now. And actually, you can pretty much say they're evil. Abortions, it used to be late-term abortion was evil. Now it's like Democrats they're saying, all right, well, we won't have abortion after the baby's born. That's how much we're willing to moderate. I'm like, what happened to fair or rare? You know what I'm saying? Rare, safe, legal, safe, and rare is what Clinton said. Yeah, we all fell for it. All fake. Right. Yeah, Trump did. He warned Germany about natural gas. He did, man. I remember that. He did. And they're like, oh, no, Trump, Russia wants their, what do you say? That was Romney, against Obama. Romney wants their, whatever it was, or Russia wants their thing back. And Trump was warning Germany. They didn't listen. Yeah. Now Biden's trying to say that he's restore the Keystone Pipeline. Now Biden's trying to say he's trying to get people to drill. He's like, no, you're not, dude. All right, there you go, Marie. Ukraine, 100%. All right, here's Karsten. Chicken stocks are doing great. Small initial investment after 6-month maturity will have 12 dividends daily. That's 100%, man. Excellent. I tell you, that's right on, Carson. So my man Carson got some chickens, and now they're going to be 6 months later. He's going to get 12 eggs every day for minimal work. Work, but minimal. Since 2014, my stepmother is Russian and well aware of the deception, right? All right, there you go. My man is Arco's from Ukraine. Okay, well, I apologize on Arco. Okay, that's good. I thought you're just another freaking wannabe faker that I support Ukraine when no one gave a crap freaking 3 years ago. Now it's you don't know what the Holodomor? That's what I call it because I'm from Maine. This is where Ukraine, the breadbasket of the world, was starved by the Russian commies, the Soviet commies, by Stalin and his band of freaking tyrants. And this is where socialism never leads to communism. Yes, it does. It's in fact, I got a book up here. It's probably upstairs again. Generations of Winter is what it's called. And I'm sure I got it upstairs. Oh man. Here's a great book, Political Pilgrims by my man Paul Hollander. Travels of Western intellectuals in Cuba, China, Soviet Union, and other places. My man Paul actually signed that for me. So I sent it to him. I said, "Would you mind signing this book?" Because that guy died not too long, a couple of years ago. But that guy was freaking awesome. And what the commies did is they destroyed the Ukrainian people, and they did it because the kulaks were trying to raise their own farms. And Stalin said, "No, that money's for us. That food's for us, and we're not going to let you." Oh, right here. Oh man, yes. If I could find my other book from Rebecca West, right here. Oh yeah. Oh, see, this is why you got to keep books, man, because they're going to get rid of this stuff, man. They're going to say, no, we never supported so here's Generations of Winter right here by this guy. And I'll just read you right here. With Tolstoyan narrative power, the emotional grandeur of Dr. Zhivago, Generations of Winter is the story of a Russian family struggling to survive amid the Stalin era. Boris Gradov, the genteel patriarch, is a surgeon whose skill saves his life, even as it implicates him in the conspiracies of the ruling circle. Nikita, his oldest son, is almost liquidated in the purges, only to be freed and to command a decimated Red Army against the Third Reich. Their daughter becomes passionately involved with both poets and party thugs as her ideological fervor gives way to the irony and the grim determination to stay alive. These men and women, woven together with such actual figures as Stalin and Beria, populate this triumphantly moving novel by one of the most acclaimed writers of the Soviet diaspora. Such a good book. But there's another one too. Anyway, so here's Rebecca West, the meaning of treason, right here. And again, just about the Western intellectuals who just, it's nuts. I got so many books on like in Ukraine and Russia and what those Russian commie thugs did to Ukraine. So my man Arco, I apologize for bashing you there. I thought you're just a freaking silly. I just support the thing. So my apologies. So because that, my man Arco did say something here. So let's read back. I hate when people just support the. All right, here we go. So my man Arco. What do you think about the talking heads on CNBC trying to sell their new secret sauce investing technique? Stay defensive and buy oil company stocks. Where were they like 2 years ago when no one wanted to buy oil companies? Yeah, 100%, man. Why not just go to? I completely agree. Don't listen to CNBC. People, just remember Jim Cramer. What did Cramer say? Everyone should get a vax, and if we don't, we should get the army to go there and force people to get vaxxed. That should be enough for you to say, CNBC, you kiss my ass. I don't know what they say in Russian. In Russian, they say "Kakdala." I know that means hello, friend, I think, right? Kakdala. Mary comb, that's in Spanish for, that's kind of a derogatory, I guess. So we can say, kiss my ass, Mary comb. I don't know what they use in Russian for a derogatory name, but we could use that. I might get banned because I said Mary comb. But I was saying like honeycombs, Mary combs, that's what I'm saying. So anyone who's offended, oh no, I said Mary comb. All right. Yeah, it was Juneteenth, right? Juneteenth. Oh boy, Growly McGee. Someone's got fireworks and Benny's. What, baby? All right. Yeah, so let's keep reading here. You also see my garden. I got a bunch of tomatoes, survival food that can last me for 2 years. I'm ready for a tight budget. So that's good stuff, Kim. That's good stuff. I right here. I also need to get a Tesla power pack in the new house because I paid for solar that the sellers had to pay for. Yeah, for the 20th time, and the Kim's not saying this. Getting localized solar for rooftop, I got no qualm with that. I absolutely plan on doing that with battery banks, as Kim's going to get a battery bank, the Tesla power pack. I don't know the efficiency of it. I don't know anything about it, frankly, but whatever. Can't be bad. Certainly better than lead acid battery, I would think. Did you hear about European Union or Commission getting ready to make lithium a poison? Not a poison. They're going to anyway. So it's going to be very expensive to import lithium now because they're making a not a poison. something that's like harmful. It wasn't a poison. I can't remember. But anyway, I said, "Whoa, are these guys on a suicide mission or what? It's crazy. Lithium? They're going to make that I'm drawing a blank. The word is a negative thing. It's not a poison, but it's like a pollutant. I think is what they said. So okay, good luck with your Dutch windmills there, guys. For the record, I actually am very optimistic. I just want to be very clear here. I do not think that the more I read into the electromagnetic pulse stuff, the more I read into the idea of so we're not going to get invaded by the commies. It's not going to happen. All right, we're not going to get invaded by China. We're not getting invaded by Russia. None of that's going to happen. This is the United States. I don't bet my man Arco there. I don't wish. I don't envy him and his plight at all. But here in the United States, we are not going to get banned. We're not going to get invaded. All right, we know how to raise a garden. Most Americans know how to put a tomato seed in the ground to raise a garden. It's not that difficult. You know what I'm saying? We have abundant water in the South, the Southeast, the Northeast, Michigan. A lot of these places still has lots and lots of water. I don't know about the West, but where we live, there's water abundantly. That's a fact. I have a sneaky suspicion you guys aren't in the West are not going to freaking all die of thirst. You know what I'm saying? They're well, I don't know how that works, but there's ways to get water out there. How do we know? Because my freaking great grandparents lived in Bisbee, Arizona in the early 1900s. All right, in Bisbee, Arizona, my great grandparents, my grandpa's dad and mom, they lived in Bisbee, Arizona. All right, somehow they were able to survive. That's before pipelines and all that stuff. So I know, can you survive with millions of people? I don't know. But anyway, so we know how to raise a garden. We have water, abundant water. Water doesn't get wasted, by the way. I mean, the water is a fixed thing. It evaporates, goes up, it falls back. Now, it might not fall back on your garden. That sucks, but there are ways to get water. That's, if you live in a place where it's green, like I do. All right, so we know how to stay cool. At least we stay cool by being in the shade. Now, you might not be super duper cool, but having a fan, you can run a fan on a tiny little battery pack. That's easy. Fans don't, it's not very much in terms of load that you need. Again, as I showed you a million times on my channel, that you can just use an inverter with your car battery and you're fine. You know what I'm saying? Now you have to have gas in the car. That's not that hard to do. Will they ever be rid of no gasoline? I highly suspect there will always have gasoline for at least for the foreseeable future. I'm not worried at all about an EMP. Not. I was when I say worried, I said, that could be bad, but I'm not in the least worried about that now. It's all created to get us scared. 100%, man. There's no other way around that, and they're doing a good job. I'm not worried about dying by some, a crazy guy with an AR-15. Not in the least worried about that because we know stay away from South Fulton County at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're going to be just fine. Are there random acts of violence? Yes. But I'm not worried about that in the least. So I'm not worried about running out of food because while you might not have all the luxuries you've come to expect, you'll have food. We know for a fact the easiest way to have a revolution is to rob people of their food. There's no other way around it. When people starve, they're going to riot, and no one in DC wants that. So what will happen is exactly what's happening in Germany. When things get dicey, they're going to open up the coal, they're going to open up the natural gas, they're open up the oil. This is the way it's going to be. Look what's happening in Germany. What is happening now, in my opinion, with what's going on in Europe, and then what happened with the Jabba Jabbas? I could not be more happy because what's happening is it's showing people, hey, you can't rely on the government to do this stuff for you. You can't. But B, not only are they inept, they lie. They lie through their teeth. And so if you ever needed a dose of reality to say, I don't trust a damn thing that the CDC is saying. I don't trust a damn thing that FDA is saying, the EPA, NASA. I don't trust any of these guys. Or DOD, Department of Defense. Like, I trust all these other guys, but I don't trust all these other guys, but I trust the Pentagon. Are you freaking nuts? Or I don't trust these other guys, but I trust NASA. Are you nuts? Why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense. Don't trust any of these people. They're all lying. FBI. But here's a guy, us on the right. I don't trust EPA or the DOE, Department of Education, Department of Labor, but I trust I trust not just the Pentagon. I trust the CIA. What? You crazy? Why would you trust them? Why would you trust the FBI? No way, man. So now we know, like, so many people are waking up and saying, I don't trust any of these people. And I know they don't have my best interests at hand. And we know that through Hunter Biden. We know this. And we also know that the Republican Party isn't going to come on the white horse to save you. I mean, that's just a fact. So how can you not see this and see what's going on in Europe, see what's going on here with that, and say, man, people are waking up. Now, does that mean it's going to be a huge revolution? No, we don't want that. We want to use what Babylon allows us for creature comforts while we're building our own resilience, which is trying to get out of debt and grow your own food like Kim's doing, gardening, keeping a store just in case, you know what I'm saying? But removing yourself. I couldn't believe this guy. I posted something on Powerline blog, a comment about the Carrington effect, because basically that's Powerline blog is pretty good guys. They got a lot going on. There's one guy in there from DC areas. He's not liberal, but he's kind of like the squishy right wing guy. Everyone bashes him. It's kind of funny actually, but I like how he writes. But anyway, long story short, and this guy's like posting something that what the Republicans need to do better is recognize that it's not about the logistics of AR-15, whether or not they look bad, whether or not this, whether or not that. It doesn't matter. It matters what people think. People think they're bad, thus they're bad. It's perception's reality. And that's that. So you can argue all day long that a 5.56 or 2.23, the round is tiny, doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Is what the perceptions. Anyway, and the same kind of thing with the Carrington effect. I typed that. I said, man, that's 100%. When you actually dive into the Carrington effect and the EMPs, you recognize we've all been just lied to about the significance of it because they wanted a story to push to get people scared. And this guy said, man, I didn't even know what the Carrington effect was. I had to look it up. I said, what? You're reading Powerline blog? You don't know what the Carrington effect is? I said, man. I said, I wish I could be like that ignorant of the current news cycle, because news cycle is bad. So anyway, be of good joy, be of cheer. There's so much to be optimistic about, man. So much. When people start saying, yeah, those people are nuts, I don't want anything to do with those people, man. The media. And check this out. Oh, man, look at this. I'm just going to share with you real quick, and then we'll see what other kind of questions y'all have or whatever. Oops, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. Did I get rid of it? Yeah, I guess I did. Yeah. Shoot. All right, never mind. This guy has sent me an article on the war on drugs and how in Oregon, because they basically, it's an article from Fox News saying 20% of adults in Oregon are addicted to drugs. And there is no link to any kind of study or anything. It's just Fox News stating a fact. And I said, I'd like to read more on that. Where are they getting that? What does addicted mean? And it was disappointing because I said, man, dude, this guy's name's Dennis. I said, Dennis, how can you not read through this for just a second? I mean, because he's thinking, because I think we've lost the war on drugs. I mean, my God, man, let's stop this already. It's nuts. Anyway, and Dennis disagrees with me. He goes, I said, how do we know 20% of the population of Oregon adult or addicted? How do you know that? Well, that's what they said in the media. I said, Fox News is just as corrupt as New York Times. Don't just because it's Fox, they're not as bad as the New York Times. Don't think they're good. Just don't trust anything these guys say. Nothing. Don't trust any media entity. It's crazy. All right. So let's go down here and all right. My parents had solar panels. They had to have service at least once time a year to clean them properly. Ironically, a hurricane knocked them out for 2 months before they could have. It just stopped. Oh man. All right. Here's Peter. Kim and Harry, I know when my dad told me to pay income tax on Social Security, my mindset changed completely. Had my storage or service restored. I discovered that the literal savings per month was 5 cents a month. Yeah, right there. I got a freeze. Remember, getting a freezer. Oh, she got two. Two freezers, icebox. They don't take much to run. I'm just telling you right now. So the electricity goes out. Look, could the electricity go out for months and months and months? Sure. Has it ever? No, not really. I mean, some places, Hurricane Sandy went through, it did. Some places. The likelihood of that happening in any long established, New York City in 1979, I think it went out for a couple of days. The likelihood of that happening is not very high because that leads to crime, revolting, and stuff like that. And it's tough. It's just, look, I'm not saying politicians are going to deliberately, that they have the power to stop this, but a lot of these things are just, they're very like they'll use the EMP that happened theoretically in Quebec that knocked out the power there for, was it 90 hours or something like that? I can't remember off the top of my head. I got it here someplace in my freaking 8,000 tabs I got open. In 1989, Quebec had a solar flare supposedly knocked out the power for, I want to say 90 hours or 9 hours or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And it's very regionalized. New York City had one. Oh, by the way, they had a power outage in Utah, Idaho, and another state out there that knocked out power 3 to 4 days back in, I can't remember, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, something like that. The cause of the power out, the transmission lines got blown up, or they got disrupted. I don't think they got blown up. They got burned, I think. You know how they got burned? Because in the prison camp, I guess the prisoners had to burn stuff. Like what I used to have to do when I was in Honduras, we'd have to go and pull the poop out from the outhouses, and you put gas on there to burn it, and you stir it with a stick. Good times. And I guess what they did is they dropped 2 50-gallon flammable tanks of fuel, hoping that would burn things quicker. Is the only thing I could surmise. And that put the power out in Utah, Washington, and Idaho. I think even up to Calgary or something like that for a couple of days on end. Isn't that funny? That didn't require an EMP. That just required prisoners in a Utah prison to put 2 50-gallon drums of fuel, flammable fuel, on catching on fire to burn the transmission lines, which control the voltage. The point being is this is very regionalized. This is very unfortunate. Not likely for that to occur where we're all going to be eating our dogs, if that makes sense. I mean, anything could happen. But I think a lot of people get really caught up in the fear, and I'm not. With that said, I have food, I have shelter. I'm trying to pay down my debt. You know what I'm saying? I got supplies, I got seeds, I got lots of stuff to provide for myself and my family should things go bad. I got loaded up with coffee, like I said in the video a couple weeks ago. I even got some alcohol, even though I don't drink, because you just don't know, man. You just don't know. So don't be ignorant or foolish, but at the same point. Let's make sure that we don't start getting so fearful about the future that we don't enjoy it today. If that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. All right. Southern companies leading the way in nuclear generation. Yeah, they advertise, at least Georgia Power here, which is part of Southern Company. They advertise like crazy on saying, I think Georgia's the only one has brought the only nuclear plant online for the last 20 years or something like that. But the Georgia Power is like, yes, we're going green. It's like they have to say that. It's crazy. Yeah. How long would Snippy Joe need to pedal his bike to create a Oh, that's classic. Oh, that is awesome. So how long would Sniffy Joe need this light is 15 watts right here, 15 watt LED. How long would Sniffy Joe need to pedal his bike to power this? Oh my good Bill, that is awesome, man. Let's see. Why didn't Barack Obama buy solar panels and windmills instead of gas? Yeah, because they know. Kim says, I got my Trump flag up. Says, don't blame me. I vote for Trump. Yeah, right here. If every suitable house in the U.S. has solar panels, it only generate 20% of our electrical needs. Yeah, yes, I even challenge that 20%, Harry. But even that, that's how much does that cost, and how much? It's not even the solar panels themselves; it's the batteries. I mean, at the end of the day, the solar panels, whatever. But until we get storage, whereas I was just reading something in here someplace. It's the generation in of itself isn't the issue, as everybody knows. It's the freaking storage of the generation because the sun doesn't shine. And everybody knows this, and yet the green wants to poo-poo the idea that, well, we have the capacity. No, we don't until we get the storage. And where are you going to get the storage? We've been using lead acid batteries since what, 1890s? You know what I'm saying? It's still our primary source of batteries. Lithium? I mean, look, lithium ion batteries, that's great. I don't know what the Tesla power bank is. I don't know, but that's not enough. It's not going to get the job done. It's just basic mathematics here. And all these people say, oh man, Liberty says, I can see Sniffy Joe riding an electric tank with solar panels. That's classic. So what they're going to say about nuclear, There's my man Arco. I hope again. My apologies, brother. If you're a Ukrainian, I didn't want to offend you. I feel bad. Jeez. Why I gotta be an asshole? I don't mean to be an asshole. Even if he had his Ukrainian flag, I just get so sick of the thing of the day. Jeez. All right, I take one for the team there, Josh. Yeah. Anyway, so going back, nuclear is what I read on these the Society of Atomic Scientists. They're scared of a nuclear war. It's literally it's like they're still in the China syndrome thing that nuclear. So what they're concerned is like, oh, we're gonna get it. That's gonna we're gonna get attacked. We're gonna get attacked from nuclear. If we have nuclear, it's a place for them to attack. It's actually interesting because I want to show you something here. This is pretty interesting. So here is a guy. All right. So this guy right here, Wilson Clark Jr., ran energy consulting firm. Now I want to read you who Wilson Clark Jr. was because he played a huge role in our wanting to get localized, sustainable off of oil, off of fossil fuel. He wasn't talking natural gas back then because natural gas was already dead. It was dead. And it's oil and coal and fossil fuels. But he did not like nuclear. Anyway, check this out. Wilson Clark Jr. What's the big deal? He's a founder, 36. The founder and president of Control Energy Group, a consulting firm, and the author of 2 books on energy policy. He died at Loudoun Memorial Hospital in Leesburg, Virginia, on injuries he received that day on a highway accident on Route 7. Route 7 takes in Alexandria down on King Street, actually. King Street becomes Route 7 going through Leesburg. Virginia State Police say he's thrown from his car when it ran out of control and it turned over. He lived in McLean, but he's born in Kingston, North Carolina. In 1974, he published a book, Energy for Survival. Interesting. He was founder of the Environmental Policy Center, and he wrote numerous articles for the Smithsonian and other publications. He was a consultant for the Defense Civil Preparedness Agency in the DOD, was the energy advisor to Jerry Brown of California. He returned to start his own firm in Virginia. Of course, he had no children because he's an environmentalist, and when you're an environmentalist, kids are doomed to die in hellfire. Then he published his book, Energy, Vulnerability, and War, which is the basis of which the FEMA came out. So I've been learning all this from my study on the Carrington event and EMP. So what happened was, there was no concern at all about EMPs or anything like that until Reagan won. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, literally January of 1981, all of a sudden, huge stories about electromagnetic pulses from nuclear war. None of that before. There's there's a couple articles. There's no big deal. No big deal. And this guy comes along. He's hired from the Carter administration to publish a report on behalf of FEMA, which was just literally in its infancy back then. Talk about energy, vulnerability, and war. Basically saying if we rely too much on nuclear, we're going to be attracted to nuclear bombs are going to take out our nuclear plants. What we got to do is go to we got to go to renewables, literally alternative energy, renewables. He literally said that. And we need to have it not centralized, but localized, because apparently in Germany, they had everything centralized, and we just bombed the hell out of them, and that shut down the grid. In Japan, they didn't have everything centralized. So even though we supposedly used A-bombs in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, that didn't shut down their grid. That may be true. I don't know. But I found that funny. Then he died. And when he's 36 years old, just odd that he just happened to die and driving. I mean, it happens, right? But maybe he was too influential in getting us off oil. I don't know. I just found it interesting that he died at 36 years old after he had written a 330-page report for FEMA, stating basically that, hey, we need to get off fossil fuels and nuclear and go all renewables, and we need to have decentralized places. Of course, no one can do that, but then he just ran off the road. Interesting. I don't know. What does that mean? Kind of creepy. I have enough toilet paper because I have leaves outside, Kim. Leaves do it for me. They happen to be shiny leaves with, I think, 5 petals or something like that. That's not going to be good. But hey, thanks, Fuzzy Dice. Wind turbines. Biggest clown show ever. Let's see what we got. So Kim's looking for a girl renter up there in Bakersfield. Yeah, right on, Kim. Right on. All right. Let's see what we got. We're gonna skip down here a little bit. New York Times, yeah, right on. Stalin created the famine. Walter Duranty, yeah, 100%. They actually, there's a movie on that now that just came out a couple of years ago. Mr. Jones, I think. Okay, so my man Joe, the computer guy, he put a comment on there about his Wells Fargo broker, and it seemed kind of suspicious to me. And I'm not saying he's lying. I'm saying there's usually two sides to every story. So I said, I'd like to hear more details. And he's saying he replied. So we'll have to read that. That's good. Good. Hey, right on. No way. Started my new main book, which is right here, Return to Peaks Island in paperback. I can't remember what I'm charging for this. I think YouTube not YouTube. Amazon allows me to like give it away for very cheap the first 30 days or something. So I'll make sure I do that. Just remember, no way, that my characters are one-dimensional. I shouldn't let that bother me, but it does. Like, I don't even know what that means. What does a one-dimensional character mean? I don't know. Harry's Going Home. Who's the author? Let's read. Let's see who old Going Home is, Harry. So let's bring that up, shall we? Thanks, Harry. Another book to read. So I'm going to read Who's Going Home. I'm going home. That's right, Joe, the computer guy. Look, I'm just coming out from my side. My side is that people don't take this wrong, brother, man. I've heard it all from customers. Like, I told them to do this. And you're like, and then I got dinged. Your old buddy Josh got dinged from some ass clown in New York and trying to bite my teeth, if you know what I'm saying, from what this guy's background is. Let's just put it this way. I don't want to say anything more. I'll get myself in trouble. But would not shock you, if you know what I'm saying. And I was like, dude, what? It's just, why are you lying, man? You're freaking lying. And I just said, just pissed me off. And USA, they let me hang. And I said, wait a second. So USA gets to pay this guy $20,000. He thinks he's out. USA doesn't, nothing happens to them. They just use money that, I as a member pay, Harry as a member pays if he's with USA, and they get to just go on their separate ways. And I'm the one, just me, who's left with a friggin' ding on my U4 that I can't get away from. I went to go to apply to Ed Jones. That a friend of mine said, dude, you should come to Ed Jones. It's great. I said, all right. I went to apply. They said, we can't hire you. I said, why? I said, you got a ding on your U4. I said, I can't even get a job at Ed Jones. Couldn't believe it. It's the best thing ever happened. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's depressing. I was like, I can't get a job at Ed Jones. I talked to some guy here local. I said, I got to get this off my license. He goes, all right, it's the same thing to me. He says it's going to cost about $20,000, and I can't guarantee I can do it for you, but we'll give it a shot. I said, well, what's the likelihood? It's not very good. I'm not going to lie to you. I said, why? He goes, because you're in an arbitration committee, and guess who puts the arbitration panel together? Is it me? No, it's the friggin' corporate people. I said, what? Yeah, Robert Conquest. That guy's fantastic. Kim says she retired 10 months ago and I live on less money than I thought I needed. Shocking. Hey, Bruce. Gasoline up to $5 for the cheap stuff. Freaking pisses me off. But we're going to subsidize China and India and then Germany too, freaking scumbags. Biden explicitly said he was getting fossil fuels. Obama said he was under his plan, electricity prices would necessarily shoot up. I mean, what? But it's not even Biden. It's us. Well, not us here. It's American people. They want it both ways, man. It's insane. And this is what, just here, if I can read it this right, Gloria Pope. I cannot. So I'm bashing the idea of dark matter. All right, dark matter. It's because it's stupid. I'm sorry, it's dumb. There's no evidence of it. They're just making crap up. They might have some mathematical concepts that doesn't mean anything. And Gloria Pope says this is the example of the idiocy we have in our country right now. I'm just going to see if I can find their thing here. hold on, just oh. I can't. I'm stunned by this because I'm like, let's see, right there. Hold on a sec. I shouldn't be stunned by it. I can't believe that. Why can't I get my comments for this right here? All right, here we go. If I can read this. All right, here. Since you are not a physicist, you might think twice about your dark matter comments. It shows your ignorance of scientific methods. I'm like, what? What scientific method are they using to validate dark matter? Oh, there isn't any. There isn't any scientific method to validate dark matter. It's all fake. It's not even mathematics because they can't show. I cannot. You can't prove it, so you can't measure it, which means you can't observe it. Anyway, so then she goes on to say, stay in your lane. Anytime someone says stay in your lane, I just have to chuckle. I love stay in your lane. That's such we're not dealing with serious, but I guarantee Gloria, she's a big lid. No, she's on my channel, not here that I'm aware of, but she's commented many times. She's not like me, or at least like my politics. I don't literally could care less, but I guarantee she's very content with air condition. I guarantee she's very content to go on travel using a good old airport, using a cruise ship. I guarantee it, 100%. I guarantee she's very content with this thing right here. Plastics. What's plastics made of? Oh, fossil fuels. I guarantee she's very content to drive on the road, even in her electric vehicle. What are tires made of? Rubber? Oh, fossil fuels. What's the asphalt made of? Oh, fossil fuels. I guarantee. But anyway, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, Biden said we're going to get rid of fossil fuels. Anyway, so you can literally go insane going, as I do. I said, this is insane. This is insane. We're this dumb, frankly. Or you can say, nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to laugh because, ultimately because I believe in Jesus. You know what I'm saying? If you believe, I believe in God. I believe God sent his only son to die for us on the cross to forgive us of our sins and open the gates of heaven when Jesus was resurrected from the dead. I do believe that. So that's wonderful. But even while I'm on this earth, I said there's nothing you can do. I mean, you saw what these people did with the masks, with the jabbers. You saw. And I was like, what happened to all that stuff? Well, no, that was yesterday's news. Let's move on to other things. So I was watching my man Dave Cullen today, showing the old Heineken and, their version of Walmart, Tesco in Ireland, about people like doing the 6-foot dance. It was freaking, not even cheering, but like, so they don't touch it. It's just freaking disgusting. And people fell for it. Many people did. They fell for it all. They fell for it. Now, many of those people who initially fell for it are starting to wake up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Which is good. Did you all know that? I just read this today, as a matter of fact, that I forgot, but Mao's wife was found guilty, was sentenced to death. I don't know if she's ever executed. Does anybody know? But anyway, as she was walking out of the trial, she was saying, but Paul, that's not the point. Who cares if it's FDA approved? Who cares? It matters not. That don't get stuck in FDA approved. Just say, well, I don't care about your stupid vax because it doesn't work. Ooh, I can't say that. I'm talking about the vax for dogs. Dog vaccines don't work. I'm not talking about the thing that obviously works. You know what I'm saying? But who cares if it's FDA approved if it doesn't do what it's supposed to do? And we all know that. Anyway, so Mao Zedong's wife was found guilty and was going to be sentenced to death. Now they gave her a 2-year reprieve, but I don't know what happened to her. I hope she was. I hope they went the way of Couscous or whatever that guy's name was in Romania. Never died in sentenced life. Never died. It was never. She was never. Did she die in prison or what? Do we know? Yeah, I like the USFL. Return to Pike's Place characters like real people I met in my journey of life took me. Return to Pike's Place. I'm not sure. Is that another book kind of like mine? I'm not sure we're talking about cars. Return to Pike's Place? Huh. Is there another book that's like mine? But it's Return to Pike's Place, and I said Return to Peaks Island. Eesh, I didn't know that. I didn't even think about that, man. I didn't think about looking at other books with a similar name. That's kind of stay in your lane, stay in your lane. Right on. Who's that? That babe? Science about proving is about reportedly failing to disprove. And 100%, man. That's no proof of that. That's what I don't understand. Why do people not whining? I don't mean to whine. All right, so let's oh, of course. Of course, some of it is without question. But you get rid of fossil fuels, and like Sniffy Joe said, that's going to hurt too. Now, I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. We're saying, oh, you can't have fossil fuels. You know that's going to increase the impact on the fossil fuels. Good old basic supply. But what happened is that we exported from Freeport gas lines 20% of all American exports, whatever this person's name is, Aesop or whatever, came from that one pipeline facility. 20% of our natural gas exports to Europe came from that one place. When they had a fire, that meant 20% of our exports stayed in the good old US of A, baby, which meant the price of natural gas here, which we can now use for our storage for the winter, zoops, 25% decline in one day. Because now we have more homemade natural gas. It's good to be king. What happened in Europe? Zoops, 16% increase in one day. Germany, I just posted this a few minutes ago. Now they're saying, we're going to have to dip into our storage because we don't have enough natural gas to power our summertime. We're going to have to dip into our wintertime. Now they changed and saying, no, we're not going to do that after all. We're going to use coal. Yep, we're going to use coal. Sucks to be Germany. It's good to be us. And I make no apologies for being America, baby. Happy Father's Day to you too, brother. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's yeah, but that's what. But Carl, that's what. The prices dropped here because of natural gas. Natural gas prices dropped by 25% overnight. This is the futures exchange. Of course, that's going to it's going to kind of go through the chains here in the United States. That's a fact. And it went up in Germany, in Europe. That's a fact because that one pipeline. But when you say prices drop, where are they? If you're talking about gasoline, where are they? Still right hovering around $5 a gallon there. Okay. Yeah, I don't want the walnuts there. Sorry, but that does sound good, man. My daughter made me a cake, a coconut cake. Oh, nada. Yeah, Russia's going to smoke Ukraine, man. I mean, it's already they could do it as they want, and there's nothing we can do about it. And so, what's going to happen then? Well, we're going to look like idiots. It's sad, actually. Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying, Carl. People want that. They believe in it so badly they're willing to risk their dogs. I'm going to say dogs because how dare I say anything else? I don't understand it. They want to be part of the cool kids. They want to feel like they're on the bridge from Selma, fighting the white supremacists. They literally think that's what they are. They're standing against the white supremacists in Alabama by giving their children. It's crazy, man. Crazy. All right. She was released for a medical procedure, but ended up killing. Whoa, she ended up killing herself. Interesting. Well, thanks, Vincenzo. I did not know that. Couldn't happen to a nicer person. Oh, the FDA. Oh yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. We went from 519 to 499. Wow, this is what there's. So someone asked me what I think is a good CPA going to do. CPI is going to go down, and the media's like, look, we're celebrating. We're still saying it's still friggin' inflated. No, right on. I got you. Paul. You're not saying I'm just saying, don't even. Who cares what the FDA says? I could care less, man. What I'm saying, consumables, as long as you can keep it so you can consume it, absolutely. All right, here we go, Murray. Should a single person not working do a Roth conversion? Well, it depends on how you got your health insurance. If your health insurance is an Obamacare, you might not want to do that, Marie. See what I'm saying? Because you might lose your Obamacare subsidies. So you got to be careful there. Yeah, I like Wade. James. Wade's got a very interesting voice. I just listened to a podcast he did with Michael Finca. I didn't know that's how he said his last name, which I enjoyed very much. Is on I guess the Retirement Researcher podcast. I've actually interviewed Wade. I didn't realize. I forgot his voice is very Mike Tyson or Walter Paytonish. I was totally taken aback by that. But I like Wade 100%, man. I think he's spot on in his research. Got no qualm with him at all. Okay, baby. Oh. I liked what they talk about in that pod. You should listen. I can't remember the name. It's Retirement Researcher is .com is Wade's website. I don't know the name of the podcast. I just forgot, but it was good. Him and Michael Finca, Finke did a podcast just last week, and it was absolutely well worth listening to for sure. Backwoods Bachelor, no inner conflict. Oh, okay. I did not know that. No inner conflict means one dimensional. How would I only have one dimensional characters in? They had completely. I don't get it, man. No inner conflict. He totally had inner conflict. Well, maybe it's outer. That's all right. Well, now I know. I shouldn't let this get to me so much. I just don't. Doesn't make sense. Like, okay, he had no inner conflict. Like, should I stay or should I go? Would that be an inner conflict? Whatever. But I got it. I got my book. I like it. Heaven forbid I ever read it again because I must have read it 1,000 times, and I don't ever want to open this thing up again. Oh my goodness! All these books I've done. It's like the last thing I ever want to do is open these up again because I read them so much. Oh, horrible! You're like, oh, dude, again. But I did like the ending. I liked it. Just the ending. Every time I read it again, I read the ending. So that ending kicks ass. I'm happy. I'm proud of it, man. It's awesome. I got my book. I don't know if we'll ever do another fiction, but it's great. It's right there in hard copy for $5. I can't remember what I'm charging for it. Oh, look at that cover. That's a car ferry right there. When I was a kid, I talk about that in the book. When I was a kid, we hardly ever the car ferry didn't look like that. We hardly ever used that. And then we used to jump off the wharf right there. You come up there, you jump into the swells. I don't know how the hell we did that. All right, I get out of here, my friends. We're gonna watch a movie with my kiddos. Internal conflict. That's a inner conflict is a song by Carnivore. Peter Steele from Carnivore, then Typo Negative. Oh man, such a good band. Should I stay or should I go? Yeah, the Clash though is oh, right on. Okay, good, gotcha. Okay, I thought it was a book called Return to Pikes Peak. I was like, oh man, that sucks. There's another book kind of like, okay, cool, thanks, Carson. I don't care what they say, Carson. You're all right. Yeah, I no, I don't. I mean, I don't have no idea, man. Sorry, Dippy Dog. Dippy Dog. Thanks, guys. Right on. Thanks. Yeah, I know. Yeah, those on Lake Michigan, freaking crazy how big those boats are. I saw something I wanted to. Freaking hot, Paul. Hot as balls down here in the summertime. It kills me. But it's a good state for sure. The market will drop a lot more, at least the Dow 2,500. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Gonna get out of here. God bless. Thanks again, everybody. Appreciate y'all being here and commenting. It's all good. Happy Father's Day to all you dads. We'll see you.